Hey everybody, it's Party Elite coming at you with some early access content for the Norsca DLC that is about to drop later this week. Now first things first, a massive thank you to the wonderful people and the Dark Gods at Creative Assembly and the Total War team that deemed me worthy of this early access so that I might share this content with you. Now just a heads up, if you've been living under a rock or perhaps in a desolate tundra, the Norsca DLC comes free if you've pre-ordered the second game, or it can be bought as a Game 1 DLC separately as well. I've also got the 30 Regiments of Renown on hand. Now these are absolutely free for everybody, available through Total War Access, as long as you've got the corresponding DLC, of course, and then there's Bretonnia, naturally, that everybody has. Now, as with my Bretonnia early look, this is actually my first time properly looking at the Norskins, so we'll be discovering them together just like we did with Bretonnia, though this intro might have some teaser footage from later on in this video, or from some of the videos I'll be doing, just because I think seeing mammoths rampaging is a bit more interesting than a menu screen. Now, unfortunately, I'm basically in the middle of 3 deadlines, mixed in with time zones and everything. I won't be able to live stream anytime soon, unfortunately, but at least this way we can still share in the joy of opening this Norscan box together. Learning from last time's mistakes, though, I'm going to split this into multiple videos so they're easier to watch. Timestamps are in the description below. They'll help you navigate what you want to see, because I will be covering, for example, all of the units just to keep everything in one place. So you can skip through and look for whatever you'd like to see it, basically. And this video, I'll be looking at the 2 factions that we've received, the faction leader skill trees, the building chains, and all of the units. And in later videos, we'll dive into campaigns a little bit, and we'll also get some unit testing done. And if you've got anything you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to get a compilation of response videos done before release as well. And that way, maybe if you have any questions, you'll have them answered, and we can all kind of, well, jump on the hype mammoth, as it were. Now, enough with the introduction. Let's dive right into this. So, campaigns, again, under New Campaign in the Old World, there will be 2 new options for factions. First up, Norsca. So the Norskins are a race of tough and warlike men, shaped both by the harsh conditions of the north and by choosing to make their home dangerously close to the Chaos Wastes. They worship the forces of the gods, personifying them as the hound, the crow, the serpent, and the eagle, and raise dark shrines and make bloody offerings to the ruinous powers. Alright, nothing we're not familiar with. Oh man, is that the... I think that's the mammoth with the shrine. It's gotta be. Anyways, allegiance to the gods. Provide significant bonuses to Norscan armies through pledging allegiance to a specific god. We've seen that. Building shrines gives us favor. We saw that through Creative Assembly's sort of streams and whatnot, so we're familiar with that. We'll take a deeper dive into that, rather. Monster hunts. Norscan lords can track battle and acquire the services of the most fearsome monsters of the old world. So again, once you get the Monstrous Arcanum, I believe it's called, on the tech tree, you can start hunting down some beasties. Aggressive infantry-based roster with a variety of cavalry and monstrous units. Okay, stepping into that.
The Eternal Challenger.
The Eternal Challenger. Wulfrik the Wanderer. Oh my... That's a pretty good intro video. So Wulfrik the Wanderer, let's see. Powerful leader and melee fighter, has the siege attacker attribute, has powerful battle ability Sea Fang, which we've been told is a wind spell, basically, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Maybe it was already in the intro, who knows. I'm looking forward to seeing that, though. Lord effects, melee attack plus 15 for all mammoth units. All forces, so across the faction, upkeep negative 10% for marauder units, all forces, and all units in Wulfrik's army cause fear. Okay, excellent. Additional starting units, so he does start with Marauder Berserkers. Let's see. We'll look at the stats later, but we've got the Berserkers, we've got the Ice Wolves Chariot, and we've got the Skin Wolf. So there's a little bit of anti-large, frenzy, regeneration. We've got a little bit of armor piercing, anti-infantry, it's a chariot, and a little bit of frostbite as well early on, and the Berserkers, so we have the Berserk ability, which we've already seen earlier. Anyways, we'll dive into unit stats and stuff later. I say we start this campaign. I might do a little cut so we skip the loading screen, unless there's a funny quote or something, but let's dive into it and see what this looks like on the campaign map.
Those in the north are closest to the gods. Their lands lie within the ebbing shadow of chaos. For in the land of monsters and ice, where no crops grow, they have to be. Thus, I have come to guide their raw talent. Why waste such savagery on each other, while the southern lands are ripe for ravaging?
Wow. That's, oh man. I feel like every time a new faction's introduced, they up the ante on those intro videos. Wulfrik's intro there was awesome. I'm going to leave this loading screen in as well because this art's great too. That mammoth looks amazing. He's got beautiful eyes. But yeah, that was a great intro video. Alright, come on, loading bar. SSD, do your trick. Okay. I'm still not sure if I want to go Wulfrik or Throgg as a Let's Play. Or both, potentially. But we'll make that decision together. Alright.
Glory to you, Wulfrik, wanderer of the world. You have returned home a slayer of champions. Yet more battles and glory awaits across the Sea of Claws and in the mountains of Norsca. Around you, the tribes of Norsca hunger for blood, yet they fight amongst themselves. With such rich offerings beyond your borders, you must rally these hardened souls beneath your banner. To the east, the mountains contain great labyrinths and lairs that are home to formidable beasts. Hunt down these creatures, ensnare them to do your bidding, whilst being ever watchful of the nearby dwarfs. To the south, Kislev, ruled by overconfident Tsars. These lands are rich with wealth. Tear these men of the bear limb from limb, opening a path for your masters to aid you in due course. Beyond Kislev lies the Empire. Its bickering states of power are ripe with treasures. Take from these soft southern lands and establish new ports on their shores from which you can raid further. Wulfrik, you are the eternal challenger, and your gods have blessed you with the gift of tongues. Embody their cold, ruthless nature, and set sail aboard Seafang for wrath and ruin. The harsh and desolate wastes of Norsca embrace you into its cold and wintry grip, my lord. Yet it cannot sustain your appetite for war indefinitely. You will need to voyage from this land to raid and pillage. Your gods will gaze favorably upon you for this. Raise in their name, and align yourself with one to be granted their twisted and ruinous gifts.
Alright, thank you very much, good sir. The Land of Ice and War. a lot of similarities to another series comes to mind. Anyways, this is just the first objective. The Northern Marauders thirst for battle, raiding and pillaging the lands across the Sea of Claws under their patron god's ever-watchful gaze. Form an allegiance and devote yourself to one of the gods, be their champion, and raise the world in their ruinous name. The gods offer great rewards and bonuses once a significant amount of allegiance has been pledged by erecting great monoliths in raised settlements. Norscan settlements generate only a small income, so their main source comes from raiding and sacking the rivals' lands. To sustain a larger force, you will need to adopt their barbaric nature too. The Monstrous Arcanum allows you to embark on wild hunts to track and defeat the most ferocious of beasts. Defeating them grants powerful items and some of the captured beasts to command in battle. Confederate the Norscan tribes by defeating their leaders in battle. This will greatly improve your diplomatic standing with them. Marauder outposts can be established at conquered coastal settlements outside Norsca, enabling basic recruitment options and locations from which to replenish your armies. Securing major capital cities allows fully developed Norscan settlements to be built and unlocks unique technologies that can then be researched. Alright. So a lot of that stuff we're very familiar with from the Let's Plays and streams that we've seen. I just want to say, I love how Wulfrik's Gift of Tongues, or whatever it is, they make it sound like this. I mean, it is a great gift, but it's just him being very able to make people very mad. Like in today's date, he'd just be like messaging your mom multiple times. Anyways, so where do we start? Let's take a look at objectives first and foremost, just because it's a good place to start. So, ultimate campaign victory. Attain level 3 allegiance with one of the gods. Yeah. Defeat all of the challengers sent against you. Destroy the following factions: Wintertooth, the Empire, and Bretonnia. Okay, so the faction destruction isn't that hefty. You're not like chasing after dwarfs and greenskins and everything. And but I guess you'll have to do a lot of work to get the allegiance stuff going. Chapter objectives: the Land of Ice and War. I almost said Ice and Fire. Okay. It's all good. That'll progress as you go along, I guess. So let's see. We are starting at Icedrake Fjord, of course. Just here above the Sea of Claws. And I think what's his name? Throgg starts up here. So he's not too far away, but it should be interesting. Alright, I mean, that's the objectives. Monstrous Arcanum.
The Monstrous Arcanum houses a collection of the mightiest beasts and monsters that roam the world. Seek them out and hunt them down to acquire their gift.
Okay, so obviously I can't see anything until I have the tech ready. Thanks. Alright, no need for that. Let's take a look at the technologies. Yeah, let's take a look at the tech tree. Again, it's supposed to be pretty interesting with how we can get... Yeah, I guess these things are, if we capture various capitals, we can unlock these highest level things. Okay, so let's start from the top left. So that's how we read. War tools, okay, recruitment, cost reduction for Marauder infantry units, Metalworker's Anvil, +5 armor for Marauder infantry, weapon strength +10, okay, ammunition +10, missile damage +15, all Marauder-based stuff, Crafter's Barding, Chariots and Marauder Cavalry get benefits to armor and melee defense. It's clinchers, speed, and charge bonus for Chariots and Cavalry. Marauder again. Butchers, Captives. That sounds horrifying. Oh my god, the description is horrifying. Give a captive a sword and he becomes an expendable sparring partner. Melee defense and melee attack increase for all Marauder units. Okay, so that's all your Marauder buffs. And then... I guess we read left to right. Monster Hunter, I was hoping to save that for later, but I guess right away within 5 turns you can start hunting monsters, which is neat because, as we know, they unlock some Regiments of Renown. So that's cool. Now unlocks level 1 hunts, unit experience +1 for Norscan Warhounds and Norscan Ice Wolves. Alright, Chaos Surge. Recruitment cost reduction, charge bonus increase for Trolls and Femur Warriors. Blood Fueled, or rather, I guess, Ice Blooded Strength, recruitment cost reduction... That's just further down, and then a weapon strength increase. Okay. Blood-Fueled Hunger, weapon strength +10, melee attack +5, Skin Wolves, Norscan Ice Wolves, Norscan Warhounds, and Bane to Morsleeb is melee defense +5 and recruitment cost -10 for Skin Wolves, Ice Wolves, and Warhounds, Norscan Warhounds. One with Beasts unlocks level 2 monster hunts and recruitment cost reduction for Giants, Frostworms, and Mammoths. Master of Beasts, level 3 monster hunts, and recruitment duration reduction. I always like those. Okay, interesting. So that's obviously our beastie bit. And this is, I guess, commerce, if Norskins have such a thing. Just culture, I suppose. Sea Marauders tools, leadership +5. Income from sacking settlements +10. Immunity to high seas attrition. Oh, immunity. I was like, why would I want to add attrition? Okay. Immunity to high seas attrition. Corpulent sails. Campaign movement range +10. Stronger oars. Vigor loss reduction. Oh. We'll see how helpful that is. Champions of War. Every new war brings the Marauders bloody gourd wrench glory in a battle, whether in victory or in death. Unit experience +2 for all Marauder unit recruits. That's pretty handy. Starting all your Marauders at +2, and then income is +10% as well. Marauders of the West, public order +1, increased sacking income +50% from Bretonnian, Southern Kingdoms, and Dwarf settlements. Okay. Raiders of the East gives us public order +1 as well, and then increases the income from Empire, Vampire Counts, and Greenskin settlements. All right. Marauders of the West gives us Bretonnia, Tilea, and Dwarves. So Destruction of Bretonnia, bonus versus large, makes sense. Leadership bonus, and double experience gain for units when fighting against Bretonnia. Alright. Demise of Tilea, missile resistance 10%. Alright. Leadership +5, only against Tilean forces. And then income increase, alright. Makes sense. Ravaging of the Dwarfs. Weapon strength increase, leadership increase, vigor loss reduction for cavalry units. That's hilarious, because your cavalry doesn't have to work as hard to chase after dwarfs, I guess. That's interesting. Okay. And then Raising of the Empire. Melee attack +5. I'm fighting the Empire. Lord Aura size. +50% is pretty big. Against the Empire. Upkeep reduction. Ruination of the Vampire Counts. Why would anybody ever want to do that? Melee defense +5 versus Vampire Counts. Attrition -25 in Vampiric Corruption areas, which I guess Throgg wouldn't have to worry about. So I wonder if these are different between the two faction commanders. And then Slaughtering of the Greenskins. Physical resistance. Oh, it's pretty solid, actually. Missile damage +15, and then immunity to Barren Wasteland attrition. Nice. Okay. So basically you want to get to these before you declare war on any of these races. So you have the small races to pick on until then, and then you go after these, or you try to research these by the time you get there. But some of them you'll have to engage before you can get there. That's a lot of turns. But yeah, just make sure you approach these branches accordingly, depending on if you want to go up or down and what your strategy is, I guess. Now, Secrets of Grain and Grape. Occupied Couron gives you income from trade plus 500% trade agreement tariffs. That's crazy. Charge bonus plus 15% for cavalry units. Growth plus 25, all provinces. Awesome. The lavish lands of Bretonnia's capital provide powerful steeds, fertile lands, and tradable resources in abundance. All right. Secrets of War and Coin. Occupy Miragliano. Whether it is material wealth or just good ideas, all manner of assets can be stolen from organized men. Research rate plus 10%. Upkeep reduction for all land units. As opposed to flying units? Or... it's a strange specification. What other kind of unit is there? And then recruitment cap increase. That's good for global recruitment. Secrets of Mining and Machinery. As long as you've occupied Karaz Akarak. The closely guarded knowledge of dwarf construction and resource excavation techniques will be mysterious no longer. Construction cost reduction, construction time reduction, and income increase by plus 50%. That's solid. Secrets of Steel and Magic, now that's from the Empire. If you've occupied Altdorf, despoil the Empire's heartland, rip the colleges of magic from their foundations, only then will their secrets be revealed. Magic resistance 10%, all forces. Interesting. Weapon strength plus 25%, all forces. Interesting. Enemy siege holdout time -3, that's pretty big. I love starving out my opponents, so that's pretty big. Secrets of Necromancy. Occupied Drakenhof. Is that what the capital is actually called? I've forgotten what the Vampire Count capital is called because of my Vampire Count Let's Play. The vampires and undead, while despicable, are masters of subterfuge and know the secrets of mortal convalescence. Alright, so enemy hero action success chance reduction. That'll be nice. Casualty replenishment rate plus 20%. Okay, that's pretty solid. And Skin Wolf Warkin hero cap plus 2. Alright. Secrets of Gork and Mork. As long as we get Black Crag and Karakdraz, I guess, or Karakdraz. The primitive greenskin gods are hard to make sense of, but their mystical secrets are valuable to any warmonger. Alright, Winds of Magic increase, immunity to all attrition for all forces, and income from post-battle loot plus 50%. All right, so that's the tech tree. Pretty interesting. I like this mechanic down here, and I like the idea of having these techs hidden behind captured settlements. It really makes it feel like, you know, you're raiding their storages and their libraries, I guess, do Norskans read, and just trying to learn what you can from them, maybe just by observing or interrogating them instead of reading. It's possible. All right, so we've done that. We've done that. What else have we got? Is a faction summary tell us anything interesting? A gift of tongues. Plus 15 for all. Okay, that's just our stuff, our regular stuff. We start at war with Scaling and Bretonnia. All right, and let's just take a quick look at Regiments of Renown. So, okay, some of these we're obviously familiar with. So it's these 3 question marks. The Cold Voider is a Frostworm. Regiment of Renown will only unlock if you complete the corresponding monster hunt. I feel like that's the one that we saw Creative Assembly do. Armor-piercing Frostbite causes terror. And is that the Guardian trait? I can't hover over that. I'm pretty sure that's the Guardian trait at the rightmost of traits. All right, then there's the Great Mawherd of Bloodfjord. Feral Mammoth, okay. Armor-piercing anti-large causes terror. I have nothing to compare this to. I mean, the War Mammoth stats we've seen, but I don't have them memorized. And then the Ice Forged Legion, which we've heard about. Or, yeah, that was the one that's a secret. Only unlock when you align yourself with the Hound God. That's 4 Hell Cannons, so that's pretty cool. So that's the Regiments of Renown. And let's look at the building tree. No, okay, let's actually look at this first. I've been thinking about that for a while. The gods demand death and destruction. You must conquer regions, razing them to the ground and erecting great monoliths to the gods to garner their favor. The gods are jealous, however, so erecting a monolith in the likeness of one will undoubtedly anger the others. While gaining the favor of multiple gods is possible, ultimately you must show your full support to only one to join Archaon's coming invasion. Remember, however, the others will not take kindly to favoritism, and invoking their anger is not without risk. I'm guessing once you get to the end of one, it's just a bunch of quest battles. Should be neat. All right. So the Serpent's Gaze, level 1 at 30. I guess it goes 30, 60, 100. Okay. So at level 1, negative 10% upkeep for all forces, for all units. At level 2, that same negative 10% upkeep, and then also Lord Recruit rank plus 5, all provinces. That's pretty big. And I'm guessing these don't stack. Yeah, okay, they don't stack. This is not minus 20, it's just minus 10. And then level 3, a Specialist Chaos Sorcerer, Kihar the Tormentor, will be recruited to fight for your faction. Lord Recruit rank plus 5, upkeep minus 10. Alright, that's the same. Right. And then we've got, who's here? The Hound's Gaze, level 1. Weapon strength plus 10% for melee infantry units, all forces. The Hound's Favor, level 2. Unit experience gain per turn, plus 100 for all forces. Weapon strength plus 10% for melee infantry units. That plus 100 is going to be pretty sweet. The level 2s are where it gets really sweet, I think. And then, I mean, level 3 is obviously awesome, but that's when everything starts to hit the fan. Unique and extremely powerful Hell Cannon Battery Unit, the Iceforged Legion, as we know. A lot of people deciphered that really well as well, the Regiments of Renown pool bit. Anyways, unit experience, everything else we know. The Crow's Gaze. Casualty replenishment rate, plus 20%, all forces. Okay, next up, Crow's Favor. Wound recovery time, minus 4. Champion of the Crow, words. A devastating plague will be unleashed across the world, your faction being immune. I assume that's attrition, like global attrition, maybe. Plague just makes me think of some other factions. Eagle's Gaze, research rate plus 20%. Eagle's Favor, increase in Winds of Magic, plus 20 for all forces. And Champion of the Eagle, a mighty Lord of Change, Azric the Maze Keeper, will be unlocked to fight for your faction, available from your Lord recruitment pool. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's the end game, basically, is hitting level 3 for any one of these, I suppose. I wonder if you can hit level 3 for more than one, or if it just kind of stops accumulating points the moment you hit level 3 for one of them. That's interesting, though, and I think the last thing we need to look at is building chain. And, oh, you know what? That's funny. If I'm recalling correctly, the edict thing, not edict, what do they call it in this game? Commandment icon shows up even when you don't have all 3 cities or all cities in a province, so I'm going to say that these guys evidently don't have those. But enough about that. Let's take a look at... Actually, before we dive into the building browser, because it's so huge, I just want to take a look at the Lord options. We've got Marauder Chieftains, and I guess... Oh, you can already see... Ah, damn. I was hoping. I guess not. And then our hero options, Shaman Sorcerer, Femir Balefiend, and Skin Wolf Workin. And these guys need various buildings, of course, Ruinous Altar, Fog-Shrouded Fens, and Warwolf Dens. Okay, with that, building browser time. It's a pretty big building browser. All right, let's start. Warrior Gathering, Norscan Settlement, Income Growth, Garrison, Construction Slot, Warband Camp. These all we know, but I want the stats up on screen so we can look at them later as well. If you guys want to pause and screen grab and stuff. Clan Enclave. It's a big growth boost. Public Order increase. 3 construct. Yeah, of course. Tribal Stronghold. More money. More problems. More garrisons. Greater Tribal Stronghold. Better. It's an upgrade. You can tell because it's got the word greater in it. All right. Yeah. Okay. We're all familiar with those. Now, let's take a look at the meat of things. So, Norscan Wharf, support, income, growth, and casualty replenishment rate goes up to Longship Builder. More money, more growth, and more replenishment rate. Yes, double of everything. And then we've got the raiding port all the way up top, 150 income, plus 30 growth, and then plus 15 casualty replenishment rate. All right. Over here, we've got the first military structure, sparring fields for Marauders, Marauder Spearmen, Marauders, and Marauder Hunters with Javelins. And those, if I recall correctly, are going to be the anti-large variant of Marauder Hunters. And then the Raiders camp gives us Berserkers, Marauders with great weapons, as long as we also have a Smithy, which is another level 1 building, or a level 2 building, sorry. And what else does it give us? It also gives us Marauder Hunters, and those guys are armor piercing. Okay, so armor piercing or anti-large is your option for missile infantry, I guess, and that's the Smithy. We'll look at that later. And then over here, Chieftain's Hall, we've got Marauder Champions and Marauder Champions with great weapons, and that needs a Ruinous Kiln, which I assume, yeah, is the next level up. So you can get all of your infantry options in any settlement, it looks like, because it only goes up to level 3, and these only go up to level 3 as well, so that's good to know. And then we've got our sort of horse, or stables, I suppose, Shieling, I'm going to assume is the pronunciation of that word. Marauder Horseman. Next up, a Coral. Marauder Horseman, Throwing Axes, Marauder Chariot if you have the Smithy again, and then Ruinous Stables gives us Marauder Horsemasters, Marauder Ice Wolves, as long as we also have the Ruinous Kiln. Okay, so your infantry and your cavalry are all possible just within a level 3 settlement. Then we've got, next up, Warhound Kennels, Norscan Warhounds, okay, and then at level 3 we get Warwolf Dens, so we can get the Skin Wolf Workin. And each one of these you have evidently gives you one more you can recruit, one more Skin Wolf Workin, Skin Wolves, Norscan Ice Wolves, and then level 4, Cave of Dark Offerings. Enables hero recruitment, Skin Wolf Workin, increases cap, I guess that stacks, and then you got Skin Wolves Armored, and that's level 4. So now we're digging up higher than your level 3 settlements. Over here, the Ice Troll Lair gives you Norscan Ice Trolls, as long as you also have Offering of Slaughter, which is also a level 3 building, okay? And it also gives you Norscan Trolls. Alright, and then that goes up to Fog-Shrouded Fens, giving you Femir Balefiend heroes and +1 cap to that. Feral Manticores and Femir Warriors. Okay, excellent. And then all the way up top, Glacial Passages gives you Femir Balefiends, Femir Warriors with great weapons, and Frostworm, as long as you have Offering of War, which is... right, that building. Okay. Then we've got the Chaos Totem, giving you Feral Mammoth and War Mammoth. Oh, it's so far away to Mammoths. So many steps removed. But you need a Ruinous Kiln for the War Mammoth, and then all the way up here, Altar of the Blood Fathers, Norscan Giant, the Drunkard, and the War Mammoth with War Shrine. Oh, man. Yeah. Okay. I'm just excited for the Mammoths. Then we've got the Smithy, Marauder Chariot, Marauders with great weapons. As we know, the Ruinous Kiln, +1 for all unit recruits. That's a good benefit. And then the Dark Furnace gives us +2 for all unit recruits, and then the War Mammoth with the War Shrine. Okay. Interesting. So I guess you'll want this in your provincial capitals. And then we've got the Offering of Slaughter. Recruitment cost -5% for local armies. Casualty replenishment rate +5%. Local recruitment capacity +1. That's always nice. And then, again, it helps with the Ice Trolls. And Offering of War gives us -10 to recruitment costs, +10 to replenishment, +2 to recruitment cap, and then Frostworm recruitment as well, alongside, obviously, the actual recruitment building, obviously. Then we've got the Bloody... Okay, that arrow's going to drive me mad. There we go. The Bloody Bulwark. Leadership +2 when under siege, local armies. Melee defense +4 when under siege. Provides garrison of Marauder Horsemen, Marauders, and Norscan Warhounds. So this is the wall structure. Skull-laden embankment. Okay. Leadership +4, melee defense +7, and bigger garrison, as you can see on screen. And then Wall of Carcasses. I love these walls. +6 leadership, +10 melee defense, and then again a bigger garrison. Those are some interesting walls. Loot Pile. Growth +10, research rate +3. Trophies of Battle, growth +20, research +5. Plunder Hall. Growth +30, research rate +7, upkeep -1. Okay. Fur Stash, income... Oh, mutant pelts with their unique texture and qualities do not come cheap due to being highly difficult to obtain. Why does it say slaves? Income generated 100, income from raiding, +2% faction-wide. That's pretty good. Beast Tanner. Income generated 200, income from raiding +5, income from sacking +2, both of those faction-wide. And then Slaver's Camp. Oh, that's why it says slaves. Income generated 3, income from raiding 10, income from sacking +5 faction-wide, both of those last two. And then the final structure, we've got the Ruinous Altar, which gives us public order +1 for every concurrent war with a neighboring faction. Now, is that just to the province, or is it to your entire faction? Public order +2, Chaos Corruption +2, and you can get the Shaman Sorcerer. And that is of metal, of fire, or of death. Then that goes up to the Chaos Shrine, public order +2 for every war, public order +3, corruption increase, and hero recruitment cap for the Shaman Sorcerer. And then, is that just increases public order and chaos corruption, looks like. And then this increases everything by another 1. So we go Ruinous Altar, Chaos Shrine, Shamanic Pyre, and Victi Temple. All right. It's a pretty broad set of buildings. Now, if we capture a... Oops, no, I can't building browse this, obviously. If we capture a coastal city, we should be able to build a low-level settlement, I guess, for basic recruitment. And if we capture a capital outside of Norsca, though, well, I guess, like, no, leadership, what is this? Okay, so coastal settlements and major race capitals can be captured and turned into outposts by Norscan factions. On the coast, you can recruit new troops and replenish your current armies. At a capital, you can construct a fully fledged Norscan settlement. Okay, and so I guess that icon lets you know what that applies to. Alright, so there was definitely a cut there, and that's because I actually backed out of this without looking at Wulfrik's skill tree. So, and no one wants to see me hop out of a screen just to hop back into it, go through a loading screen. So, let's take a look at Wulfrik's skill tree here. So let's see, Sea Fang we have right from the get-go. Wonderful, wonderful. Devastating Charge, Thick-Skinned, Hard to Hit, Deadly Blade, Foe Seeker, Woundmaker, Scarred Veteran, Indomitable, Quicksilver, and Hunter of Champions is all the way at the end. Oh boy, okay. That's a long way away, alright. Then we've got Dominating Presence. Beast Slayers gives +5 bonus versus large for Marauder Spearman units. Becomes +10, becomes +15. I don't remember it saying level 2 and 3. Anyways, so that's good. Hardened Hunters gives missile damage +5% for Marauder Hunter units, and that becomes +10 and +15 with a reload reduction time as well. Cool. And then Fearsome Warriors, melee attack and weapon strength +5 and 5% for Berserker units. Becomes 10 and 10, and then 15 and 15. Champions of the North, melee defense and charge bonus +5 for Marauder Champion units, and that becomes 10 and then 15. And then finally Standard Die, which we are familiar with. Voice of the Dark gods. Aura size plus 10%. Wild beasts gives melee attack plus 5 for warhounds, then 10, then 15, along with vigor loss reduction for all warhound units. And this is just in the Lord's army. Okay. Next up, toughened fighters. Weapon strength plus 5% for all marauder cavalry units. That becomes 10 and 15 with a 20% reload reduction time. Fervent creatures gives us plus 5 melee defense and charge bonus for skin wolves. That becomes 10 and then 15. Juggernauts of the Sarl. This is plus 5 for all mammoth units, becomes 10 and then 15. And then plus 10% aura size for the war shrine as well. And then fight or die at the end. So this is more marauders and this is more beasties. Cool. Route marcher or route marcher. Despoilers, serve or die. Norse resilience is just replenishment rates. Swelling of doom. Devourers of flesh, that's disgusting. Gives you 1 more skin wolf workin and increases the rank to 5. Alright. Lightning strike, always wonderful. Savage skills. Plus 1, plus 2, plus 3 for all unit recruits. Experience unnatural healing. Casualty replenishment rate plus 10. Fueled by war upkeep reduction 3, 8, 15. And then Spawn of Chaos. Unit experience gain per turn plus 150 for the Lord's Army. But that's all the way at the end though, so if you've got decent survivability, that shouldn't be a problem. As for the quests and stuff, we've got the Sword of Torgald. Although King Torgald's blade is a prized trophy, it is also an eternal reminder of the consequences of grand proclamations for the gods. Alright, melee attack plus 10, weapon strength plus 10%, public order plus 5, all provinces, income from post-battle loot is plus 10%. Ability is Sword of Torgald, which is 120 seconds and gives himself plus 22% weapon damage. Alright, that's not bad at all. Norscan Warhorse at rank 8, Marauder Chariot at rank 12, War Mammoth at rank 18, Eye of the Gods, weapon strength plus 7% when attacking, Aura of Chaos, missile resistance 10%, the Eternal Challenger, armor piercing damage plus 15 at rank 12, and World Walker. Ambush chance plus 15%, chance of intercepting an army using the underway, beast paths, or world routes plus 20%. Okay, so it's just so you can kind of get the jump on them and surprise them. Alright, now I think we have seen everything we need to see about Wulfrik and Wulfrik's folk. So now we will actually back out and look at Throgg. So, where are we? Might cut this too. Alright, so campaign, you campaign, the old world, Wintertooth. Alright. King Throgg is no ordinary troll. Deep inside his massive and chaos-warped body, a cunning and malevolent intellect lurks, brooding on how best to bring about the downfall of man. His subjects, a fearsome army of warped monsters and gibbering lunatics, itch to do his will, to despoil and subjugate the southern lands in the name of the dark gods. I believe it looks like his intro video is different as well. Yeah, because Wulfrik was in the other one, so his intro video looks different too. Alright, I'll let that play through. We've got allegiance to the gods, significant bonuses, yeah, okay, and monster hunts, those are the same. Monstrous heavy unit roster with a variety of lighter armored infantry and cavalry units. That's hilarious. So that's just the opposite of Norsca. Alright, I'm gonna guess this is close to the end of Throgg's intro video. Initial challenge hard. I don't remember any red down here for Norsca, so we'll take a look at what Norsca's initial challenge is set at. Alright, that's that. So Norsca's normal, Wintertooth is hard. Interesting. Alright. Moving on. My Ice Age comes. Alright. Oh, man. What a wasted life. There's starving children in Norsca. Anyways, powerful melee fighter, of course. Have you seen his hammer? Siege attacker attribute. Powerful battle ability, Copious Vomit, which I can't wait to test out. And can construct a unique building in Troll Country. Is that where Erengrad is? Because if I'm not mistaken, he can build the Cave of the Rocky Throne, I think it's called, down in Troll Country, which gives him extra bonuses and benefits to trolls in his army. Because that's his flavor. Lord effects. Physical resistance 10% for all Norscan trolls and Norscan ice trolls across all forces. That's a pretty big deal. 10% physical resistance. All units in Throgg's army are immune to all attrition. I think we know this already. Upkeep negative 15% for all Norscan troll and Norscan ice troll units, all forces. He starts with Norscan warhounds, Norscan trolls, and Norscan ice trolls. So, guess a lot of speed there. Very low leadership between two troll units, but a lot of hurt, some regeneration, some frostbite. Alright, cool enough. And let's dive into this, and again I might cut it if it's too long, the loading screen. And hopefully he has an interesting intro video. I hope it's different from Wulfrik's.
Those in the north are closest to the gods. Their lands lie within the ebbing shadow of chaos. For in the land of monsters and ice, where no crops grow, they have to be. Thus, I have come to guide their raw talent.
I guess it's the same video. I was going to stay quiet. I'm going to give it a bit more time.
Waste such savagery on each other, while the southern lands are ripe for ravaging.
Oh. Okay, that's a little silly. I'll wait just a little bit longer, but I was kind of hoping they'd have two different introduction videos. Because this one's really awesome. I love that shot for Wulfrik, and then this shot soon after. So I was hoping that Throgg would get a similar treatment. No, okay, I guess this is Wulfrik-centric. Alright, I mean, understandable. One can hope, though. Let's skip that and move on to the campaign intro. That has to be different, so at least we can watch that, and we'll see see how that looks. As soon as we're done loading. Come on, there we go. There we go. Keep going.
Hail, Throgg, king of trolls. You venture far from your natural lair. These lands are rich with meat and war. Feast upon them, grow in strength and number to bring ruin beyond. To the east, the icy mountains harbor the dwarfs of Krakadrak. They mine great treasures for themselves. But all of this can be yours for the taking, or for the gods. To the south, Kislev. These men of the Bear dare to rule your kingdom. Let them feel the power of the monstrous horde. Destroy Erengrad and reclaim your rightful throne in Troll country. Beyond Kislev lies the Empire. Its bickering states of power are ripe with treasures. Take from these soft southern lands and establish new ports on their shores from which you can raid further. Across the Sea of Claws, a would-be challenger lies in wait aboard his precious ship. Devour him and do as you wish with his marauding warriors. Throgg, you are the Wintertooth, cunning and all-powerful. Let the realms of man suffer in horror and pain as your monstrous horde lays waste to all.
All right.
And desolate wastes of Norsca.
I'm gonna go ahead and yeah, okay, that's the exact same as the Norsca intro, whatever. Yeah, okay, Land of Ice and War, so that's all the same. Norsca is all the same as well. Okay. And I'm guessing these gifts of the gods are also the same. So let's see, the Serpent's Gaze, Serpent's Favor, Champion of the Serpent. Yeah. So these are all the same. Looks like it. Just hovering over them in case... Yeah, okay, no. That looks all the same, and we will start with the objectives, as we did with Wulfrik. Okay, so we have to destroy Norsca, the Empire, and Bretonnia. Makes sense. Level 3 allegiance with one of the gods, defeat all the challengers, so that's all the same. And then chapter objectives, the same. We get a faction overview, have anything? This just gives us all the regular stuff. And we're only at war with... Nagelfarlings? Someone correct me. I don't know how to say that. Okay, so just the one war in progress currently, and technology is the same. Yeah, this is all the same. Okay. I was wondering if it might be a little bit different, especially down here, because like sea marauders, and I don't know if trolls really go on boats. So, but alright, so that's pretty cool. I think all of these buildings are the same, but we do know, of course, when you get Erengrad, which, yes, my old world geography is improving, is in Troll Country after all, you get to build, the Cave of the Rocky Throne. But this is where Throgg does start. Winter Pyre, all the way up top, over here in the Mountains of Hell. So, yeah, I mean, that's that. Not much else to see on that screen. Winter Pyre, do we dive right into the... Well, let's see if the Regiments of Renown are different here. So we've got the Cold Voider, the Great Maw Herd, and the Iceford Legion. Okay, so that's all the same. This does not change as a result of... So I guess we're hunting the same monsters and stuff. Cool. Now let's take a look at the building chain. I wouldn't be surprised if it's... if it is the same as well, because that would make sense. Yeah, this all looks the same, though here we have Guard Shack. Oh, right, this is the lower tier wall equivalent, if you will. So, Marauder, Great Weapon, Norscan Warhounds, Watchtower, again, bigger recruitment, and then bigger recruitment. Does this also give us a wall, though? Or no? Interesting. Intriguing. Okay, I see... Our enemies are already like right upon us, so easy enough to take care of that war nice and early, I guess. So the building browser is the same, the objectives are the same. I guess we can't see Erengrad, so I can't see what's the deal there, but we can take a look at Throgg's skill tree. But first I want to take a look at recruiting Lord. We've got the Marauder Chieftain and the Lord of Change. It's too bad we don't have like a troll equivalent, but I guess they're not smart enough to command unless you are, you know, Throgg. And in Recruit Hero, we've got the Shaman Sorcerer, Femir Balefiend, and the Skin Wolf Workin. Now we can take a look at Throgg's skill tree. So let's see. We start off with Copious Vomit, which is absolutely wonderful. And let's see, we've got Devastating Charge, Thick Skin, Hard to Hit, Deadly Blade, Foe Seeker, Wound Maker, Scarred Veteran, Indomitable, Quicksilver, and Deadly Onslaught, all the way at the end there. Down here we've got Dominating Presence, Wild Beasts. Okay, so Wild Beasts is melee attack plus 5 for all Warhounds. That becomes 10 and 15 with a Vigor Loss reduction. Okay, I see. Hardened Hunters for the Marauder Hunters, plus 5, 10, and then 15 with a 20 reload time reduction. Fearsome Warriors, plus 5 for Marauder Berserker units, plus 5% for weapon strength. Yep. Okay, so this is similar, but it looks like Voice of the Dark Gods is different. So Aura Size plus 10%, but Icy Wrath, melee attack plus 5 for Norscan Trolls and Norscan Ice Troll units. It goes from 5 to 10 to 15, and then plus 20 leadership. That's a big deal because Trolls have terrible leadership, so that's actually solid. Frostbitten, melee defense plus 5 for Norscan Trolls, Norscan Ice Trolls. Okay, that goes 5, 10, 15, and then 20% missile resistance. Nice. Cyclopean Friends, or Cyclopean Fiends. Gives us leadership plus 5 and melee defense plus 5 for all Femir Warrior units in the Lord's Army. Yep, 5, 10, and I assume 15. Primordial Masters, melee defense plus 5 and charge bonus plus 5 for Frostworm units, and that goes 5, 10, and 15. It goes up to fight or die. And then we've got Root Marcher, Spoilers, Serve or Die, Norse Resilience, Swelling of Doom, Masters of the Fen, yep, Lightning Strike, of course, Savage Skills, Unnatural Healing, Fueled by War, and Spawn of Chaos. Alright, so pretty similar, but this one's a unique chain. Copious Vomit is obviously different. And then up top, the Wintertooth Crown. I don't have it yet. Okay. Whether by the crown's own properties or by the grace of the dark gods, all things bestial and savage obey the wearer. Rank 9. Okay. Melee defense plus 10. Chance of intercepting an army using the underway, beast paths, or world routes plus 10%. Recruitment cost negative 10% for Lord's Army. Chaos Corruption plus 5 in the local province. And the ability Wintertooth Crown, which for 38 seconds gives an ally within 30 meters the Unbreakable trait. I mean, if it's free, especially when you've got so many trolls in your army, it's not terrible at all. Eye of the Gods, rank 7, weapon strength plus 7% when attacking, Aura of Chaos, missile resistance, mutant regeneration is different. Casualty replenishment rate plus 25% for all Norscan trolls, Norscan ice trolls, and Femur warrior units. Okay. That's campaign replenishment. Oh, that's not bad. And King of Trolls at rank 15, public order plus 2 in local province, and upkeep minus 10% for all Norscan troll, Norscan ice troll, and Femur warrior units. All right. Okay. So clear enough chain. They're relatively similar, the two skill trees, but obviously Throgg does lean a bit more towards the beasts. Oh, hey. We got some Northern Lights going on. I will say that I was hoping that in this video I would get to all of the units as well, but unfortunately I am maybe not very good at estimating the realities of timing. And we're already at an hour almost. And again, I want to keep these guys an hour. I'd be okay with going to an hour and a half, but the units, looking at every single unit that comes with Norsca is going to take, I think, an hour on its own, so that will be a separate video. You can probably see a link to it right now on the screen, I imagine, alongside a subscribe button. So if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do for more Total War content, as always. And there's a Patreon link as well. And then you can also look under the eye at the top right corner of the screen or in the description below for links to all of the videos and maybe even timestamps within them, just so you can jump to exactly what you want to see. Again, I want to make it easy for you guys. But this was just part 1 of a many-part early access, early view series, whatever you want to call it. We'll figure out a title. I'm sure it'll be written down below. But thank you guys very much for joining me for this one, and I guess I'll see you on the other side with the next video, which I will jump to right away. Thank you very much for joining me. Until next time, which is literally in 30 seconds for me, cheers.